It is a pleasure on what is an autumn morning, right? But it definitely feels like summer. But to our beloved and riverfront and downtown. I want to especially welcome Secretary Biaggi and Governor Pritzker and extend my deepest gratitude for their presence with us and their leadership and support of infrastructure improvements in our community. To my colleagues on the City Council who are here, I see Alderperson Schmidt, and I see Alderperson Castro, and Debbie Murphy, Alderperson Murphy, Alderperson Timian, and Mr. McNeil, Alderperson McNeil. Thank you so much for taking the time to join us and for all of your partnership in bringing good things to Moline. And to our staff, your expertise and professionalism is so much appreciated. We know all of the projects we are privileged to undertake don't happen without you. Thank you for your excellence. So just shy of 4 years ago, we stood on that bridge behind us, cutting a ribbon and looking forward to what good things were to come for our downtown and community. It had taken decades to get to that point, but I would say now it was well worth the wait. That award-winning bridge is a symbol of connectivity, part of the essential pieces of infrastructure we must cultivate to have a high-quality community. The projects we're celebrating today are also part of that connectivity. My deep gratitude again extends to Governor Pritzker and Secretary Biaggi, their staff, and all those that represent us in Springfield who are part of these types of community solutions. Just as we observed with our bridge project, it takes years of dedication to bring massive projects to fruition. The multi-year plan recently announced is a testament to this dedication and long-term planning. It's a statement of commitment by our leaders because of the significant dollars that go with it. The projects in the updated plan truly are transformational for Moline. From multimodal investments in Metrolink and the Quad Cities International Airport to street, highway, and bridge improvement, the multi-year plan is committing over $300 million in Moline alone. Yes. with more in other parts of the county. It truly is an astounding commitment. We in Moline are not strangers to complex, big-ticket items and the planning and vision that is needed to make good use of appropriated money. After all, we are standing next to our next biggest project, our riverfront redevelopment, meant to transform the area vacated by the removal of the old I-74 bridge just about 1 year ago. If you haven't seen the riverfront and center plans yet, the guiding document for this area, I urge you to go to our city website to check it out. We spent the last 2 years investing in this project by assembling property, connecting with the community to build the plan, conducting adjacent studies like a feasibility study for the Kone Tower, and working with our partners in Springfield on legislation to give us more economic development tools, such as the River's Edge redevelopment zone. In fact, I believe the last press conference I shared with you, Governor, was announcing Moline's inclusion in that legislation. Those efforts are working in concert with significant infrastructure projects like the ones announced today. Our River Drive streetscaping, generously funded with $1 million from the state of Illinois, and our Arsenal Viaduct bridge repairs funded by federal dollars will improve access to downtown living and amenities and improve the quality of life for our region. In short, we in Moline are making good on our plans and promises, and we're so thankful that the state is ready to make good on its plans to fund important projects in our region. Because of these joint efforts, Moline and the Quad Cities can live out the mantra I've been repeating all year: no isolation, no stagnation, which is so important for our well-being now and into the future. Thank you again, Governor and Madam Secretary, and all of those partners with us today. I'd like to bring up Governor J.B. Pritzker. I'm going to leave this here if you don't mind.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Madam Mayor, and thank you for your leadership here in Moline. You have assured me that it is always sunny in Moline, and I can see that. So good morning to everybody. It really is a wonderful morning, and I'm very proud to be here in Moline alongside our transportation and labor and government partners to celebrate all the progress that we've made in rebuilding Illinois' infrastructure and generating real lasting economic growth. Across the state, our Rebuild Illinois program is getting shovels in the ground and putting Illinoisans to work on projects that are vital to the community interest and that are truly helping to grow the entire state. You can see behind me, of course, I-74, the Mississippi River Bridge. In the past, our aging bridges had restricted the growth of this region and inhibited the lives of residents. And then 4 years ago, we gathered together, all of us, to celebrate its completion as one of the largest projects in state history. And since then, we've continued to make transformational economic investments for the Quad Cities region. And today we're back at it and building on that progress. Let me thank some of the people who are here behind me and with us who've been an integral part of securing these projects that are improving the quality of life and the business environment here and throughout the entire state of Illinois. My colleagues in Springfield, Senator Mike Halpin and Representative Greg Johnson, and I just want to stop and say, when you send great people to represent you in Springfield and people who have on their minds every single day what's best for the people of their districts, they are listened to, and they're listened to by their colleagues. But very importantly, they know that they can always come and knock on my door and tell me this needs to be a higher priority than it already is, or Governor, we need your support for this. And so I just want you to know how important it is that Senator Halpin and Representative Johnson are there for you and for me. One of Illinois' champions in Washington, D.C., Congressman Eric Sorensen, thank you for your outspoken leadership on all of our behalf. Of course, from the Illinois Department of Transportation, our great Secretary, Gia Biaggi, and the former Deputy Secretary of the Department of Transportation, Doug House. Thank you guys both for your leadership. And representing our men and women of organized labor, Brian Atkins and Corey Bergfeld of the Tri-City Building Trades. Thank you. Our local partners, because we can't do any of it without great local leadership. In fact, you can't just land a spaceship somewhere. You know, we have ideas in Springfield about what should happen, but you really need great local leadership to make things happen. So once again, Moline Mayor Sangeeta Rayapati, East Moline Mayor Reggie Freeman, and Rock Island County Board Member Kai Swanson. So I have a few more comments for all of you, but I just want to take a moment to recognize someone who is a friend of mine, I think a friend of many of yours, and remember the Rock Island County Board Member, Porter McNeil. He was genuinely a decent and kind person. I think anybody that knew him would say that. He was a dedicated public servant, and he was a champion for the people of this entire community, and he will be terribly missed. May his memory be a blessing to us all. Since we passed and I signed Rebuild Illinois back in 2019, I have traveled up and down this state to see the projects at work. And let me tell you, you can see how the dollars that have been invested are flowing straight into the communities that are being served. In fact, into the foundations of communities, literally. Roads and bridges, sidewalks, bike paths, airports and transit, our locks and ports, and also the economic foundation, creating quality jobs, trained skilled workers and catalyzing sustained business investment. That was the purpose of it then. We obviously needed to rebuild a lot of crumbling infrastructure for the way that it looked or the way that you would drive on it. It's saving money for our consumers, that people aren't getting flat tires as often, they're not having accidents as often. It's a safety issue, but very importantly, we are attracting companies from all over the world because of the world-class nature of the infrastructure that we have rebuilt and modernized. From the beginning, the size and scope of our vision for Rebuild Illinois has been historically very ambitious. When it passed, it was one of the largest and most comprehensive infrastructure programs in the entire nation, and it has lived up to that. I will say we beat the federal government to it by passing a large program for the state of Illinois before they got to it in the early 2020s, which added on top of the $45 billion that we set aside and are investing an additional $20 billion into our infrastructure. Again, we should, after a few years, be able to honestly say we have the absolute best infrastructure in the entire nation. You can't drive, bike, ride, or walk anywhere in this state without seeing and feeling the impact of that modernization that's underway. From Chicago to Rockford, from Springfield to Decatur, Carbondale to Metropolis, to right here in Moline and the Quad Cities, no community has been left out. Rebuild Illinois has put tens of thousands of people to work, building 21,000 lane miles of roads so far. Yeah. It is, and more than 800 bridges, along with river ports and early childhood centers and school classrooms and airports and bike lanes and crime labs, rail stations, and so much more. We needed it. It had been a while since we had put that kind of, shoulder to the wheel, so to speak, to get things done. And we should all take pride in the results. We may not be number one today, but CNBC now ranks Illinois as one of the top 5 states in the nation for infrastructure, and it's a status that we've earned. I'm never satisfied till Illinois is number one, though, so we're going to keep at it. But we're here today because there's still more work to do, more projects to undertake, more communities to help revitalize, and more jobs and opportunity to create. Our job in state government is to get Illinoisans to work and get projects online quickly and efficiently. Our coordination and our support needs to meet the scale of our ambition. These multi-year plans, like the one we're announcing today, have been the blueprints every year guiding us toward our transportation goals. This month, we've launched this latest roadmap. It's why we're here. The largest of these roadmaps ever in the history of the Illinois Department of Transportation. Over the next 6 years, we'll continue investing across the board in order to build the best infrastructure system in the entire nation, to create good jobs for Illinoisans in the process. And these projects are truly statewide, reaching every single one of the 102 counties of the state of Illinois. That includes more than $32 billion for roads and bridges, $13 billion for transit, $3 billion for rail, $1 billion for aviation, and nearly $200 million for marine projects. This year, we're sending an additional $400 million directly to counties and cities and townships and transit districts to support local infrastructure that you all choose for yourselves. Whatever your priorities are, you need those dollars in order to make sure that you're rebuilding as the entire state is, and we're very proud to be able to send that to you. And it is in part, once again, because of the great members of the General Assembly who helped to vote for it. These funds will spread across 223 projects and cover everything from street and transit upgrades to bike and pedestrian improvements, specifically tailored and administered to meet local needs. Now, you can see it here in Moline at the River Drive streetscaping project. River Drive runs through the heart of the city and the commercial corridor, connecting people and businesses. This project is updating and upgrading sidewalk and streetscape elements, including ADA compliancy, landscaping, and street lighting, to breathe new life into the area and to bring more foot traffic to local businesses. over 60% of the local funding appropriation we've dedicated is going towards projects like bike and pedestrian elements, because that's what many residents really have asked for and really care about. These projects don't have to be flashy to be effective. That's why our infrastructure dollars are flowing directly into community priorities: good jobs, safer walks and commutes, connected neighborhoods, and a connected Illinois. So I'm excited to see more projects that are going to be built, more Illinoisans at work, and more people and goods on the move thanks to these investments. So with that, and I just want to say before I conclude, it is always great to be back in Moline, because every time I come here, things have been upgraded and improved and modernized, and it just feels like this is a place that is on the move. And so is the entire Quad Cities region, and I thank everybody for all of your efforts at the local level as we work at the state level to lift up our state. Once again, we do have the best state in the entire country. Even when we're ranked number 2 or 3 or 4, we're number 1. So with that, I am pleased to hand this podium over to the leader of our transportation revitalization in the state, and a really great hire on my part, I might add. That's the Secretary of Transportation, Gia Biaggi.
Oh my goodness. Thank you. And yes, we are number 1. We'll fix that other poll. So yes, today is a great day for transportation in Illinois. Senator Halpern, Representative Johnson, Congressman Sorensen, all the local elected officials here today. You heard we've got Mayor Freeman and Rock Island County Board Kai Swanson. The support at the local level, from the local level to the national level, incredibly important, not just for this region, but for the entire state. Thank you to the city of Moline and our fine mayor. As well to all of your staff. You ordered the best weather, you have the best backdrop. Really, it's been incredible. And I think, as the governor said, Moline is on the move. Moline is moving, and it's incredible to see. So we have a lot of folks here today representing the coalition that it takes to do big things together, to deliver one of the largest capital programs in the United States. And I do like to say our capital program for the DOT, it's bigger than Texas's. Bigger than California's. If you took Iowa and Wisconsin and Michigan and Minnesota and whoever else in the Midwest, we're still bigger than all of them combined. That is the kind of investment that we're making. We are the center. We should be making this investment, and we are. So it does, though, it takes partnership to do this, for sure. And you heard from the governor about the kind of partners it takes, not only the General Assembly, but all the way up to the national level and all the way to the local level, but also from industry, also from our trade partners. I know we've got the iron workers here, for sure. You don't build that bridge without iron workers. That is a fact. So we want to make sure we keep putting you to work. But the Tri-City Building Trades are here. They help us get it done. And that partnership, all of that, it makes a day like this possible. And thank you, Governor, for your leadership. You can have partnership, that's one thing. Leadership, you need that too. So thank you for that. So you heard this new program, it's a landmark. It is giant. It is $50 billion over 6 years, the biggest in history. And our job is to put the shovels in the ground, put the hands on the shovels, and cut some ribbons down the line. So we are focused on that task. And you know, we've even seen it in the last year. We had the largest single letting for projects. $1 billion went out on the street in June. We have more lettings coming up in November and January, and we'll keep going. And especially for projects that are right around here. Not too far from where we're standing, we've got a $13 million project to revitalize and reconstruct the 27th Street corridor. This is going from Route 5 to 52nd Avenue. This is crucial connectivity, right? You know, this Mississippi River is connecting our region to the entire world, but we have to do the connections right here at home, and that is doing that with this project. And this connects us, as you heard, to and from I-74, also to and from the airport and South Park Mall, and we know this is high on the list of priorities, and that is happening. John Deere Road and the I-74 reconfiguration, that is a huge project, and it's getting something called a diverging diamond interchange. What does that mean? Safer, faster, common sense movements around an expressway get you where you are, from where you are to where you need to be easier. It's also considered one of the most significant innovations in transportation engineering of the last decade or so. And so that is what we are building right here. So a lot of orange cones. The governor tell you he'll offer his sorry not sorry on the orange cones. They're everywhere, and they're going to be really here in Moline. So thank you for your patience. And we know, as you heard, like this is what helps those investments that we make in infrastructure be exponential, supporting the economic development, supporting keeping Moline at the center here in this region. So we've got to go big, we've got to go fast. We are rebuilding at a size and a scale and a speed that we never have before. I talk a lot about speed and spend, and that is our focus. We want to get it out the door. But none of that happens without support. And support means working closely with localities. Support means us listening really well, and that $400 million investment you heard the governor talk about, local roads, our way to support is to say, what do you need? How can we help you deliver? How can we get out of the way when we need to? And how can we help make it happen when you need a little assist? And that's what that funding is about. And every single legislator I have talked to in my last 10 months here has asked me about it, and that money is out the door. What we know, though, is that for a $400 million request, we had $5 billion worth of requests. There's the need, and we see it, and we're going to take that list of needs and transform it into continuing to invest in this way going forward. So good projects like the River Drive improvements that you heard about, $2 million to support downtown revitalization, and that is all the things the governor talked about. It is pathways and it's lighting. It's all those small pieces that make a street great. And so, as you heard, we've got improvements like this happening every corner of the state, every single county. I just want to close with a big thank you to the IDOT team, Trish Thompson, our regional engineer, and that whole team. They get it done. They're who you're talking to on a daily basis. I'm so appreciative of their hard work. Thank you, everyone behind me. Thank you to the governor and everyone here today. And I'll say it again, we're here to get those shovels in the ground, get those hands on the shovels, get the ribbons cut and the bills paid. And it takes urgency, it takes patience, it takes leadership, and it takes partnership. And that's what you're seeing today, and that's what you'll see in the future. So I'm just excited for us to all get it done. So next up, I want to introduce Senator Halpin, an incredible supporter of the work we're doing here. Thank you.
Simply stated, I'd just like to thank the governor and the secretary for continuing to recognize the importance and the opportunities that we have here in Moline and in the entire Quad Cities region. And I really appreciate them coming in person to make this announcement in front of all of you so that people in our community can understand how much the state is investing in what we're doing here. I'd also like to thank in advance all the hardworking folks at District 2 that'll be implementing a lot of these projects, as well as the local economic development and public works departments that'll be working on the local projects. And most importantly to me, thank you in advance to the hardworking men and women of organized labor that'll be building these projects, good paying jobs, further sustaining the economic development and growth right here in the Quad Cities. I'm extremely proud to be a resident here. I'm glad to be able to fight for all these projects down in Springfield, along with my best partner in the world, Representative Greg Johnson. And just happy to be able to come back here with the governor, with the secretary, with my colleagues to say this is what we've been working on for a long time. We're prepared to rebuild the Quad Cities, and we're excited to do it. So thank you so much. And now I'll turn it over to Greg Johnson.
Thank you very much, Senator. Before I get into what I promised to be your very brief remarks, I think it's important. I've spent the last few days in Springfield hearing stories of things that are going on elsewhere in this state, Chicagoland in particular. So I need days like this. So I really want to start out by thanking Mike for being the best friend, mentor, and partner that I could possibly ask for in Springfield. I want to thank the governor, IDOT, Mayor Riapati, all of our city leaders, all of my brothers and sisters in organized labor, for everything that you do. And I see a lot of other community leaders out there. Every one of you wakes up every day and makes my world better and gives me a reason to wake up, even after trying days in Springfield. It's a great day for Moline. And when we talk about investing in our community, this is exactly what we mean. Projects that make our streets safer, more accessible, and more welcoming for everyone. I want to congratulate the City of Moline for securing $3 million in ITEP funding for the River Drive streetscaping project, and I'm proud to support the local investment that's making this possible. I want to thank IDOT, Governor Pritzker, and everyone that made this project a reality. The stretch of River Drive from 12th to 19th Street connects so much of the downtown. Thousands and thousands of people use it every year, including myself, and it's time it reflected the energy and the opportunity of today's Moline. This project will replace broken sidewalks, add new ADA-compliant crosswalks and signals, install better lighting, and create green spaces with trees and planters, making the area safer, more inviting, and more connected. That means fewer tripping hazards, better access for everyone, and a downtown that looks and feels alive. It's an investment in safety, in accessibility, and in the local businesses that make this community and our economy thrive. That investment will benefit the people that live and work here, as well as attract new businesses and jobs. When we all work together like this, we build a stronger, safer, and more vibrant Moline for our kids and our community. Thank you very much. Now I have the honor of introducing the Executive Director of the Tri-City Building Trades, our good friend Brian Atkins.
Hello, good morning. Thank you everyone for joining us here today. Governor, for coming down and seeing us here in the Quad Cities. My name is Brian Atkins. I'm the Executive Director of the Quad City Building Trades and an iron worker by trade out of Local 111, Rock Island, Illinois. Book number 1245805 for my representatives in the back. That's how you check it. So, when Governor Pritzker made the commitment to rebuild Illinois roads and bridges, he wasn't just investing in the infrastructure. He was investing in us, in the hardworking men and women of labor who make our state stronger every single day. Here in the Illinois Quad Cities, Moline, East Moline, and Rock Island, that investment has meant real opportunity. We've seen union crews out on job sites year-round putting their skill to work on projects that connect our communities, make travel safer, and keep our economy moving. These are good-paying union jobs that allow workers to support their families, buy a home, retire with dignity, jobs that give apprentices a pathway to the middle class and give our local economy the boost it deserves. Governor Pritzker understands that when labor is strong, Illinois is strong. His Rebuild Illinois program has modernized our infrastructure while keeping union workers at the center of progress, setting a national example of what partnership between labor and leadership looks like. Every new bridge, every repaired road in the Quad Cities is proof of what we can accomplish when we invest in working people. Governor Pritzker's investment isn't just good for labor, it's good for the future of the Quad Cities and for all of Illinois. With that, I'd like to hand the mic back to Governor Pritzker for some questions and answers.
He's assuming I have answers, but yeah, happy to take any questions from members of the media. They don't have to be. This could be a really short press conference. To move faster, you're talking about Quad Cities Rail. Yeah, it's a good question. Yeah, I was going to say, I was going to call up the secretary. I'll just say it has been a priority of mine. We have a couple of major rail projects. This is one. And again, your representatives have been in my ear about this since day one. So I do want you to know it's a priority. It does take some partnership with folks that are across borders for us to make sure it happens. But I'll hand it over to the secretary.
No, thank you for the question. And we absolutely are ready to move this project faster. We have a few decisions to make just about the infrastructure investments and making sure that we've got it fully funded, and we're going to figure out a way to do that and get that project rolling. So there's just a matter of a few decisions over the next couple of months, and we should have something rolling real soon. We're not taking our eye off that ball one bit.
Okay, one of the shortest press conferences. Thank you all. It makes it even more enjoyable to be here in Moline. Oh, we do? Where?
The black shirt.
Oh, there he is. Okay. Yes. Yeah. The question was about SNAP benefits and the fact that the Trump shutdown of the government is going to, on November 1, cause people to lose their SNAP benefits. These are people who depend upon SNAP benefits to feed their families. And the answer to that is there is no reimbursement of the state if those SNAP benefits are lost. I asked that question immediately. There obviously is a big challenge for a lot of families, across hundreds of thousands of families across Illinois. And we're looking at ways that we might be able to at least augment what they're not going to get. So on top of zero, we're going to try to do something. And of course, make sure that they know how they can feed their families during this difficult time without SNAP benefit cards. They have threatened, I just want you to know, this is what the federal government is doing, and if I sound like I'm hypercritical, it's because I am. This is wrong. They are talking about actually disabling the machines that where you can swipe your SNAP card during this period. Why is that something they shouldn't do? Because we could perhaps provide some benefits to people. It would have to be on those cards, though. There's no way to get money in people's hands faster. And fast enough. But because they want to punish people during a period where the administration is unwilling to sit down and negotiate or just follow through on promises, we may actually have people who are unable to feed themselves. So we're working on it. We're trying to figure out what we can do and what we can afford to do to support people, and how we might be able to support pantries, food pantries across the state, if they are where everybody is turning to. But we don't have a full-on solution because the federal government really is the provider of all of the SNAP funds. It's not a state program. It's a federal program that we administer. But they are making it near impossible. So I'm hoping that the shutdown will end before November 1st. That is going to be up to the president. Yes, sir. Yeah. So, I mean, we're talking about, I believe, more than $12 billion of sales from Illinois soybean farmers that normally would be sold to China if we had just regular trade going on. It's not something special. That's just what it would be this year if not for the tariffs and the tariff war that has ensued from the administration. So there isn't a solution to this, but I can tell you it's abominable that the federal government is providing $20 billion to bail out the Argentine economy, and that has allowed Argentina to now trade their soybeans with China. And we're talking about replacing almost all of what Illinois would have provided. And it's, again, because they've prioritized in Washington the foreign government of Argentina over the farmers of Illinois. All right. Thank you all very much.